Over to you, Bina.
Okay. Yeah, I hope you can hear me already. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I would like to welcome all of you to meeting 357 of Speakers Den Toastmasters Club. My name is Toastmaster Veena, and I'll be the Sergeant at Arms in today's meeting. To officially start the meeting, I want to remind everyone that this meeting will be recorded. Some parts of the meeting may also be used for promotional material later. In order to have a smooth meeting, here are some ground rules that we will follow during the course of this meeting. First, please put yourself on mute when you're not speaking. Second, don't interrupt while someone is speaking. If you were to move during the meeting, please turn off your camera. Third, please be mindful from addressing sex, religion, politics during the meeting. Fourth, be attentive and be attentive throughout the meeting. Support and encourage fellow speakers by turning on your camera and warm smiles and claps. Use Zoom reaction buttons to express yourself during the meeting. As you're aware, everyone has a mission in life. Similarly, our Toastmasters has a mission. Our mission is to provide mutually supportive environment so that each member of this club can develop their leadership and communication skills, which will help to boost their self-confidence and personal growth. To take the meeting forward, I would like to welcome our presiding officer, Toastmaster Vishal. Toastmaster Vishal is a strategy consultant and is currently associated with the Big Fours. He is a Toastmaster member since 2021 and has served as VP Education for his previous club, TMCC Bhubaneswar. He loves to participate in running events like half marathons and 10Ks and is a travel enthusiast. Over to you, Toastmaster Vishal.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Veena. Let's have a round of applause for our Sergeant at Arms today, Toastmaster Veena, for opening the meeting with that lots of energy there. I would welcome all our members and guests to our 357th meeting of Speakers Den. Today, for our guests, right, I would like to request them to rename themselves as guest underscore your name, even if you are coming from some other clubs, so that we will have a smooth flow of interaction. Having said that, for our guests and our Toastmasters, I just want to reiterate, what Toastmaster is and why we are so proud of being associated with Toastmasters International. So Toastmaster International is a worldwide not non-profit organizations that empowers individuals to become effective leaders and communicators. Toastmaster International was founded by Ralph C. Smedley in the year 1924 at YMCA Santa Ana, California. Currently, the organization memberships exceeds 357,000 and it's situated in more than 143 countries. So we are proud of this humongous organizations which are making leaders and orators and speakers. Our speakers den is also a part of this worldwide organizations for a long time. And it's we as a club were charted on 25th September 2012. So it's been a decade long journey so far for Speakers Den, and we are proud to be associated with the Toastmasters International and being a member of Toastmasters International. Having said that, today I would like to welcome, in cricket, we have something like the cap ceremony. We don't have it here, but we have a new member. So let's give a round of applause and let's hear from our new member, his introduction, so that we know who he is. Let's give a round of applause and welcome Toastmaster Akshay on stage. Toastmaster Akshay, if you can please introduce yourself to our clubs and guests, it will be great.
Sure. Thanks, Toastmaster Vishal, for welcoming. So I'm Akshay. So basically, it's been 8 years now. I'm living in Bangalore. Currently, I'm associate with the Infosys BPM, and I'm passionate about the quality and continuous improvement in both personal and professional. Right. So I'm the person who loves to talk with everyone works in my life, and also I'm a travel enthusiast. I'm embarking on a new journey with the you all Toastmasters, and to learn, engage, and enriching the conversation and enhance my public speaking. So yeah, looking forward to the excited time ahead with you all. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Akshay. Let's have a round of applause for our new member. And we look forward to seeing you taking lots of roles, Akshay, and exploring the power of Toastmasters by taking roles and participating in meetings. So, having said that, let's move towards our theme of the meeting, which in the new year is very timely. And there's this famous adage: every sunset is an opportunity to reset, and every sunrise begins a new day. And this time, it's also a new year in the making. So, with that, let's give a round of applause and welcome our Toastmaster of the day, someone I hear so passionately, a HR profession, and I've seen her giving great speeches on well-being and everything else. And I always love to hear from her whenever she's TMOD or even any members or any role takers. So let's give a round of applause and welcome Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Lalita on stage, please.
Thank you,
Toastmaster
Toastmaster
Lalita.
Vishal, for that wonderful introduction. So, good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm your Toastmaster of the day. First day of New Year. So, common question anyone asks you is, what is your New Year resolution? So, have you come across this? Right?
Yep.
So, you ask yourself, what is the resolution that I should make? So, what is the meaning of resolution? Any answers?
Improving ourselves.
Okay, right?
For me, it's kind of a promise that I will be taking these activities throughout the year.
Yeah, that's nice. So, it's a promise. I'm sorry, Veena.
Samita here. Yeah, a promise to make ourselves a little better.
Right. Right. So it's a promise that you make to yourself to start doing something good or stop doing something bad on the first day of the year, and you continue this throughout the year. So why do we make these resolutions? Any answer?
To have direction in life.
Right.
Yeah, to have a purpose and track the entire year activity based on that purpose at the end of the year, whether we met it or not.
Right. Right. A New Year's resolution is a decision to do or not do something to accomplish a personal goal or break a habit. So, has anyone made New Year resolution this year?
Yes, me. I have.
So, what's your New Year resolution?
To play an instrument.
Great.
The easiest, ukulele.
That's nice. Anyone else?
I have a resolution to finish at least 3 half marathons.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice, Praneeth. So, Vishal, have you made any New Year resolution?
Yeah, I mean, spend more time with my family, with my wife, parents, and at the same time continue with the journey of running and not stop anywhere. So continuing with the good things which I've done for a few years, making the same tempo.
That's nice. Sankhya, have you made any New Year resolution?
No, actually, for me, resolutions, I could not never, so I didn't thought of anything actually. I thought, every day will be a new resolution for me, not necessarily it should be only for that new year.
Right, right. So, moving ahead with the meeting, I would like to explain how a Toastmasters session is conducted. Any Toastmasters meeting is divided into 3 parts. The first part consists of prepared speeches where members prepare in advance for a 5 to 7 minute speech and where the evaluator evaluates them. The second part is a fun-filled table topic session where anyone from the audience can come up and give a 1 to 2 minute speech on a topic given by the table topic master. And the third part is the most important evaluation section where our general evaluator for the day will give a report on the entire meeting of today. Having said that, I would like to invite our general evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Sankhya. Meet Toastmaster Sankhya. He's been making Roberts work in finance for 18 years, turning dull into cool. He tells stories so well that even boring number sheets want to laugh. And when he's not playing with Roberts or making people laugh, he's chewing down on his favorite dish, biryani. He is a number guy who knows how to mix fun work and a good meal. Over to you, Toastmaster Sankhya.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Lalita. And so as a general evaluator for the day, it's like, getting everything to see from starting to end. So as a role, I would be observing the entire meeting, that how it goes, what are the various things that went well and what could have been improved. And this is very much aligned with my own role, because I'm quality, and for me, I always look for the quality. So that I can feel so much connected with this. Now, with me, I have three musketeers in my team who will be helping me to analyze and to come up with some studies as well. So let's hear out, and they are popularly known as the TAG team, by the way. So TAG is timer, R counter, and grammarian. So with that, let me first welcome our first role taker, the timer for today's meeting, Toastmaster Veena. Mr. Veena, the stage is yours. Please explain your role.
Sure, Sankhya. As timer, I will time the table topic speakers, formal speeches, and the evaluations. I'll also alert each speaker of the time they have left using the green, yellow, and red cards, which denote specific times remaining. Those giving speeches should limit their remarks to their specific speech times. Most of the speeches should be 5 to 7 minutes in length. At 5 minutes, I'll raise the green card. At 6 minutes, I'll raise the yellow card. And at 7 minutes, I'll raise the red card. The individual evaluations should be between 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I'll raise the green cards. At 2 minutes 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. At 3 minutes, I'll raise the red card. There would be a 30-second buffer timing for which no additional card will be displayed. For table topics, for table topic speeches, it should be between 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will raise the green card. At 1 minute 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. And at 2 minutes, I'll raise the red card. There would be a 30-second buffer timing for which no additional card will be displayed. Thank you.
Thank you. To share your screen for the cards.
Sure. This would be the green card. This would be the yellow card. And this would be the red card.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Veena. And now let me welcome my second musketeer in my team, popularly known as the R counter. Let's hear what she is going to do. So with that, let me welcome R counter for today's meeting, Toastmaster Pragya, on the stage.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Toastmaster Shankya. So good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. So as an counter, my purpose is to note the words and the sounds that are used as crutch or filler words by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen for the overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I'll also listen for the filler words, including or I will make a note of the speakers using any repetitive words or phrases in their speech. And towards the end of the meeting, when called upon, I'll present a report with the number of times that each speaker has used such filler words. So with that, I'll hand it over to you, Toastmaster Sankhya.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Pragya. And now the final, which this role I'm particularly afraid of since my school days, because it's all talk about the grammar. And with that, let me welcome our grammarian for today's meeting, Toastmaster Saptangshu. No, you are not audible, Saptangshu. No, not yet.
Now,
Yeah,
is it?
yeah, we can see.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Sankhya. Sorry for that. Fellow guests and Toastmasters. So, as a grammarian, my responsibility is to pay close attention to all speakers, listen carefully to their language usage. I'll take note of any improper language as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As a grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. For today's meeting, the word of the day is epitome, EPITOME, which means a standard or typical example for something. An example of example of using the word is he is the epitome of kindness. So each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day. I'll give the grammarian's report when called upon during the meeting, and also report on the usage of the word of the day. Thank you, Toastmaster Sankhya.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Saptangshu. And with that, let's give a round of applause for our tag team for today's meeting, Toastmaster Veena, Toastmaster Pragya, and Toastmaster Saptangshu. Thank you so much for that. And with that, let me hand over the baton to our Toastmaster for the day, Toastmaster Lalita.
Thank you, General Evaluator Sankhya, for your introduction as well as the tag team introduction. A big round of applause. Moving to the first section of our meeting, which is prepared speeches, our first speaker for the day is Toastmaster Venkatesh. He devotes his time between studying and pursuing his diverse hobbies. An avid volleyball player, balancing his time between these activities, Venkatesh is on a determined journey to crack the UPSC exam. But before I invite him on stage, I would like to invite Toastmaster Vishal to read out his speech objectives.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, TM Lalita. So Toastmaster Venkatesh is going to present his L2P4 speech. Timer, please note the timing will be 5 to 7 minutes. The purpose of this project is to practice applying feedback and serve as speech evaluator during a club meeting. This is the first part of the speech objective. Second part is where Toastmaster Venkatesh will be acting as an evaluator going forward. So he has already presented a speech on the topic. He has received a feedback, and now Toastmaster Venkatesh is trying to incorporate those feedback into this second speech. So that's the purpose of this speech. I would like to hand over the stage back to TMOD, Toastmaster Lalita.
Please help me welcome Toastmaster Venkatesh, Overcoming Emotion. Overcoming Emotion, Toastmaster Venkatesh.
I'm audible and clear. Thank you, Lalita. Good morning, everyone. Today, I'm going to speak about the topic overcoming emotions. The famous philosopher said, feelings are something you have, not something you are. I have taken few circumstances from my personal life to define my title, Overcoming Emotions. My grandmother is around 70 years old, and I have seen throughout my years from that day when I was born. Both my grandparents are very hardworking, determined, and brave. I will also give a few examples that prove these three statements. When I have seen we have a land dispute between us and neighbors, that time I was living with I and my grandparents, only three, and my mother and father were residing outside our native place. In spite of the fact our relatives have filed a court case against us, I remembered only for 10 days, next 15 days, police will come to our home to capture our grandparents. And it went like that, not for 1 month, 1 year. It went for around 12 years. And my grandparents were able to win the court case against them. That was power I have. One question all from your personal life, how you overcome different types of emotions. Anyone?
There are lots of emotions, Venkatesh. In office life, also we have to manage lots of politics and make the correct decisions to favor our team members. So we have to overcome lots of emotions all the time.
Okay, thank you, Vishal. And I will give a second statement, which also proves I have seen my grandparents are producing rice, wheat, vegetables, and all other kinds. This supports us not only for two, 2 years, 5 years, more than 40 years. They are supporting us. But one incident during COVID has affected me personally. When I gathered around my mother, grandmother, and I was sitting during evening time about gossiping something, my mother said to my grandmother, "Hey, please get up to eat food." But she was lying unconscious, seeing showing no movement of hand, legs, and even eyes were closed. Everybody was started crying, including me. That is the first thing I saw in my entire life till now. Now, what should do next? It was around 8 p.m. at night. So I gathered great and confidence to take her to the nearby hospitals. I somehow managed to admit her to the hospitals, but the doctors did not allow us to reside there. We came back, and the doctor said you should come tomorrow to meet her. I and mother went to meet her in the hospitals. I see grandmother was happy and well. The doctor said to us she will be discharged for next 2 days. So after next 2 days, we came happy with our grandmother to our home. I think everything was over, but ahead something we have to lot to face. Again, after 1 month, my mother fell unconscious, and to take her to the better hospitals was little far. We request to the cab drivers, but no one agreed because many people think that my grandmother has catched coronavirus. That's why she was feeling unconscious. But that is not the case. But again, we take local doctors from one doctors to the next doctors. We are losing both financially as well as precious time we have. But as the COVID gradually recedes, our cab driver managed to take her to the next hospital for better treatment. We sat there for 4 to 5 days. But I told to the doctor that if please prescribe some medicine. If she fell unconscious, we will give that medicine to her and she will be well. We cannot have to move from here to there and always taking one hospital to the other. But the doctor finally said, she is an old woman, we can't do anything at all. We again came our home. Then I realized that two medicine, that two injections, when doctor gave to her, she will be all right. One is pan IV, which is used to treat gaseous disease, and the second one is John, which is used to treat bacterial infections in our body. So whenever she feels unconscious, I am able to give the two injections to her in my own risk because I do not have any choice to save her. Otherwise, I will definitely lose her. Then I started implementing her not for 1 week, 1 month. It went for around 1.5 years. And finally, the disease fades away. Now she is very fine and fit. Over these circumstances, my mother told me that you have to be ready with all the circumstances in your life because you have to take your decisions on your own. So during these incidents, I have learned you should have control your emotions. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to lead our front life. So over to you, Toastmaster Lalita. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Venkatesh, for that inspiring speech. A big round of applause for Toastmaster Venkatesh. Our second speaker for the day is Toastmaster Samita. She has owned different ads at various junctures of life as a teacher, principal, mother, and at present, a soft skills trainer. She enjoys reading and speaking. She looks forward to a fun-filled learning experience. But before I invite her on stage, I would like to invite Toastmaster Sonal to read out a speech objective.
Yeah. The purpose of the project is for the member to practice using vocal variety or body language to enhance his speech. Timer, please note the timing is between 5 and 7 minutes. And I wish the speaker all the very best.
Please help me welcome Toastmaster Samita, disappointed, Toastmaster Samita.
Fellow Toastmasters, how many of you have gone to that trip that you had planned for 2023? Raise your virtual hands and show me. Yes, yes. I love the land of the pyramids, pharaohs, and sand. So I made a trip to Egypt. 10-year-old Ria would latch on to me. Tell me more about the Egyptians. What did they do? Egyptians, they were people. They lived in their own houses, they had temples, they had beautiful markets, and of course, they had elaborate rituals of mummification. And then they would take their mummies and put it in stone sarcophagus. And then they would take those sarcophagus and put them in the tomb. In their tomb, they would fill it with clothes, with furniture, with perfume, and anything that they needed in their afterlife. Is it so? Yes, it is. I am going to see the pyramids. What are you going to see? I only want to see the boy king Tutankhamun's artifices. King Tutankhamun. Who is he? I don't know about him. Where did you get to know about him? You know, it was long back when I was in the 10th standard. Just my board exams were over and I was flipping over the pages of Reader's Digest. And suddenly I saw a mask, brilliant, golden and blue color. It caught my attention. That is where I came to know about this boy king, Tutankhamun, who ruled for 9 years and died at the age of 18. Oh my God, I was 16 at that time. And he was treated as a living God. He was worshipped as a living God. This is when my love for Tutankhamun's artifacts started. Oh, you know a lot about him. When are we going to go to his house to see all these things? Oh, we are not going to his house. Why? You said you want to see. Where will you go? My dear, it is all in the Cairo Museum. When I went to the museum, I stood in front of that special section. Finally, as I stepped inside, first thing that I saw was a brilliant 10-kilo mask. It was a burial mask. Craftsmanship. Mesmerized, I kept looking at it. The only sound that came out, wow, wow. What is this? All over, there were artifacts, body sheets, amulets, big chunky necklaces, dagger, 14-inch long, covered in gold sheath. The inner coffin made of solid gold. Everywhere you looked, it was wonderful. Slowly, I came to the end of the museum. And there in a small glass box was some small human-shaped objects kept. I wanted to read more about this. This is not something which I know about. And I found those were small jars where the mummified organs of Tutankhamun was kept. I was a little taken aback. The moment I stepped out of that display, I started feeling sad. I don't know why. All the gold and everything was beautiful. It was very grand, much more than I had ever imagined. What was making me feel so sad? I was feeling a tinge of disappointment. The next day, we went to Luxor. Luxor is a place where all the tombs of the kings were there. Again, I stood in front of Tutankhamun's tomb this time. King, such a small tomb. I looked at it carefully and started going down towards history, going down with a special feeling that I'm about to see something really special. All the paintings, it looked as if it has been done just recently. The stone sarcophagus, intricately carved. And then I looked. In the corner, in the glass box, was the mummified Tutankhamun lid. I felt very angry at myself. I quickly came out. The moment I was coming out, all these golden paintings and everything looked meaningless. They looked weird. The moment I came out, a hot blast of air blew on my face, bringing me back to reality. Where is Tutankhamun? Did you go to his house? Tutankhamun has died long back. Then why did you come to his house? That was the question. Why did I come? Why was I so insensitive? This is the place where a person's last resting place. What do we write when someone dies? RIP, rest in peace. Was I giving peace to that person? What was there to see about a mummy? Why did I spend so much money, fly down to another country, go down that tomb to see a dead mummy? Am I so insensitive? I'm so disappointed with myself. What about you, fellow Toastmasters? Will you be disappointed? Over to you, Timothy.
Thank you, Toastmaster Samita, for that wonderful speech. A big round of applause for Toastmaster Samita. With that, we'll be heading towards the second session, that is the table topic session. For that, I'll be calling the table topic master of the day, Toastmaster Pranit. He's a software engineer from Enphase Energy who loves a good game of badminton, picking up new skills online on unwinding with movies, eager to improve and excited to join the club. Here's someone who's all set to make the new ones. Over to you, Toastmaster Pranit.
Hello, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am the table topic master today. Table topic sessions help in enhancing your ability to think on your feet and become more comfortable with spontaneous thinking. It's a great way to improve your impromptu skills and foster quick thinking. So I'll present a topic and speakers will have 2 minutes to share their thoughts. So yeah, thank you. And just to reiterate the timings, at 1 minute, green card will be raised, and at 1 minute 30 seconds, yellow card will be raised, and at 2 minutes, red card will be raised. So yeah, who would like to go first? Any volunteers? Anyone from guests?
This one, I don't know what it is.
Hello, Arun?
Oh, I'm sorry, it was unmuted. I'm sorry, I was just joined, so I couldn't understand what is the question about.
Yeah. So I'll give you a topic. You can think about what to speak for 30 seconds, and then you'll have 2 minutes, at max 2 minutes of time, 1 to 2 minutes to speak about the topic. You can bring things from your experience or from your thoughts, whatever you like.
I see. Okay, sure.
Okay. Yeah. So so the topic is, in the coming new year, share one adventurous activity or experience you'd like to check off your bucket list this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this year, the new year.
I mean, new year, 2024.
Yeah. So what is the adventurous I would like to pursue on, right?
Yeah. Adventurous activity or some experience.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so Arun.
Oh,
Hello.
so I should go on now for 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, so good morning all. So this year, I mean, last year I couldn't do much on adventurous stuff, but this year I am really planning for going to or preparing and then going for a Himalayan base camp tour. But the thing is, like I heard about Himalayan base camp tour from my office, like my VP. He generally is very much interested in, or maybe he's very participative in all these kind of activities like triathlon and then base camp. So last year he did that, and then he has shared a session with us like last year about like what all preparation he has done, and then what was the specific situations or issues or challenges, and then how do we actually cope up, and then what are things we probably need to do or check on and then need to do while actually going for this kind of adventurous trips. It was really kind of interesting, as well as yeah, it's really tough, and then it's challenging for us, especially where we don't have, especially I'm from a technical, I mean, like, sorry, the I mean, like office working setup, right? And then we generally sit, and then not much activities are there. And then it's really challenging with respect to that. Like we need to move around. It's not even just a small move around and then just stuff like that. But it's really need to have a serious workout, and then get your personal fitness as well as the other aspects of travel. It's not also the terrain and then the climate. All these things are very challenging one. So with respect to all these aspects, preparing that one is the first target for me this year. Maybe the first 3 months I'll be looking for how do I prepare for it, and then what are things I should do it. Specifically the fitness part of that. So that's what primarily I was thinking, like it's challenging, and then I'm planning for this year with respect to on that aspect. Yeah, I think like it's read already. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Arun.
Yeah.
I too have done some treks, and I too want to do the Everest Base Camp trek one day. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Yeah. So, yeah, anyone wants to go next?
I think Lovepreet is raising his hand.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, Lovely.
Hello.
So, share a specific resolution from your past that has significantly impacted your life and shaped your journey. I repeat, share a specific resolution from your past that has significantly impacted your life and shaped your journey.
I would say it was not a resolution. I would say similar to that. It was not a new Year resolution, but it was a mid-year resolution which I had. So during like March, April, when I joined my first job, I was thinking, why did I take up this job without reading the description and the technology it needed. I My company, it was a US based company which were dealing with electricity department of the US. They were working directly with government, and they were using technology. In 2014 they were using technology which was there from 2005 or 4, and they were saying we are stable enough, we don't need to change. And even if you do something there, they would say, why are you reading this is not coming in the technology which we work on. So I thought I'm going to quit. Just within 1 month I thought I'll quit this company. But one of my cousin who is like a lot more experienced than me, and I was just fresher at the time. So I thought, now I need to leave this company. And then one of my friends, she had done master's diploma, 6-month diploma, and I made a resolution that I'm going to do the same. Just I'm going to change the stream to big data analytics, and I took up that. And for 3 to 4 months I started studying everything because the entrance test was there, and for that we need to cover, similar to gate we need to cover everything relating to computer science. So I took up that, and due to that I landed up in the center here in Bangalore, and after that I'm continuing this job from like last 4 years. That's the big decision I made, and that's the resolution I took up. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your experience, Lovely. So, yeah, anybody wants to go next?
Vibhuti is raising her hand.
Hello.
Praneeth.
Yeah. Vibhuti. So, if you could learn a new skill or a hobby, what would it be and why?
Okay. It's been a childhood dream for me to learn how to swim. I'm one of those avid readers and vibrant imaginators, and I've already thought what will happen after global warming increases. There'll be water everywhere. So, in that way of thinking, I used to dream how I would save the world. In real situations, this is not absolutely going to be a thing, but definitely this is a life skill that I guess we all need to learn. I also wish to travel by seas. These days in news, we all are hearing about Lakshadweep and Maldives both. So someday I'd like to travel there from sea route, not by air. And I'm so sure that while I'll be traveling from the sea route, I'll have this fear that we all might get drowned. That's why I need to learn. I feel like I need to learn how to swim, and this is one life skill that I want to start this year. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing your plans, Vibhuti. And anybody wants to go next? Sudhir?
Has
Yeah. Let's just go with Sudhir first. So, hello, Sudhir. For you, the topic is, if you could switch to a completely different profession, what would it be, and what steps will you take towards that this year? I repeat, if you could switch to a completely different profession, what would it be, and what steps will you take towards that this year?
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So very good morning, everyone. It's good morning because I'm talking first time to this group. And as you told about the topic, if I wish to, first of all, I work as an engineer in a aeronautical industry. And if I wish to change my profession, I definitely will go to the consultation services. Why I say that? I generally every year I go to my native for New Year, and when I was coming via train, it thought struck just like a lightning, and it was, you are good at your work, but you are not best, and it's not your calling. And from that, there is a thread continue running till day, and whenever I feel what is my real interest or passion, or what is the purpose, and I always feel I should go in consultation services where I, as a person, I'll go in leadership consultation. I don't know whether I will be successful or not, but it's my calling. So it's not about based on the data or market trends or which job is more lucrative or where I get more opportunities. It's just like wild. So if I have to continue, means everyone have ups and downs in their lives, but they sometimes they don't stop to look at it. And observation is the main key. From last 16 years, I don't have courage to change myself. That's why I don't change my job. Being a good student throughout my life, I thought engineering is the best option. Being a mechanical engineer, I thought the best way to serve my talent is go to a core industry. I joined HAL. But after working for 16 years, I got to know that's not my core. And already completed my 40 years this 2023. If I can't do now, if I don't take actions according to my gut feeling, I will not justify myself. So that's my saying to you that if I get a chance, I'll go in consultation services. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Sudhir. I bet everybody at some point in their life thought about switching their career. So, yeah. Next, Samita, the topic for you is share a cherished memory of celebrating Sankranti from your past and what made it special for you. I repeat, share a cherished memory of celebrating Sankranti from your past and what made it special for you.
Sankranti means the winter is slowly going away. That means the play hours become longer for us. So, as a child, the only thing that we looked forward throughout the day was when we could rush out of the house, play, and till the sun went down and became dark. So, during winters, it would become dark quicker, which made us have less time to play. So, Sankranti means the days are getting longer, we will get more time to play. The most cherished memory we have was I loved to fly kites. We would make the manjas. If someone has done that, you will remember. I don't know, kids of today do it or not. So we would ground glass and add adhesives to it and then strengthen the string so that we could go and cut the other kites. That was something which we would look forward to. So that one year where my brother and me, we both did a lot of activity of making the manja really strong, and we were flying the kites, and we managed to cut two kites. Not only managed to cut it, but we could capture those kites and bring it back. It was as if we were having a fight, and those kites were like the fallen soldiers we were bringing home. And we were so excited about it that we got both the kites. Actually, when the kite falls down on the ground, it breaks. You can't fly it. You have to catch it when it is still airborne. Then you can fly it and show it to them that you have captured your kite and we are flying it. So those two kites are one cherished memory of mine where I still feel so happy and proud that we could manage to get that. And that is all of Sankranti. Of course, eating was one integral part. Being a Bengali myself, eating was an integral part. But that kite always took the cherry on the top. Over to you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing your experience, Samita. So Yeah, this concludes our impromptu speaking practice for today. So really appreciate your enthusiasm and thoughtful responses. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Lalita.
Thank you, Toastmaster Praneeth, for the session and for the amazing topics. A big round of applause for Toastmaster Praneeth. With that, we'll be heading towards the evaluation session. I'll be calling General Evaluator Sankhya to present his report.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Lalita. Now, this is the third session for this meeting. And as the evaluation, as the general evaluation, this is like one of the most important segment. And what I'm going to do is divide this into three parts. The first part will be the evaluation of the speeches which we just listened. The second part will be my tag team's report. Will be my evaluation of the entire meeting. Now, to begin with, we have two speeches for today's meeting. And for the first meeting and for the first speech for Toastmaster Venkatesh, let me welcome the evaluator, Toastmaster Vishal, to be on the stage. Toastmaster Vishal, the stage is yours.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Sankhya. I'd like to start, Toastmaster Venkatesh. I can see you. Yeah. So Toastmaster Venkatesh, it was great the way you started, your presentations. You set your camera and then you started with a quote, and that was something good. You brought lots of personal story in your speech, and that I liked most about your speech. It was, the title of the speech was Overcoming Emotions, and you thought of plugging your story to display how you have learned to overcome emotions and how it is done. What the second thing which I liked about your entire speech was there were some moments where you asked the audience for how they are overcoming emotions. So that was good. There was a bit of audience interactions in your speech as well. There was one feedback which you received during your last meeting, which was vocal variety, gestures as well. So I find you have worked on your gestures when you were saying 8 p.m. or when you were saying the time was ticking out for your grandmother's story. You used the hand gestures, and overall also when you was going to the doctors or something, you were using your hand gestures. So that was really appealing to me. That was something good, and you should keep on doing it, Venkatesh. Camera settings, I think your camera was visible as compared to last time. It was at a distance. However, it was not at an eye level. Your entire speech could have been highly impactful had it been at an eye level. No worries, we will have, and I'll show you during our workshops, which is also planned on certain things which you can do, and take a leap of faith after that. But essentially, the idea is that the camera should be at your eye level, and then you can be more confident because your audience will be seeing you at an eye level itself. Now, coming to other recommendations, I think your pauses were a bit inconsistent, Toastmaster Venkatesh. What I was seeing, it was very difficult for me to identify where you are pausing and where it was a normal break in your sentence structure. So I would definitely encourage you practice your speech more so that your the sentences are in one go, and then you are pausing when there is a full stop in your script, and then you are going ahead with your thing. And when you want to emphasize something like coronavirus or the title, the emotions, anxiety, you can emphasize it with your vocal variety. So those are the things I would definitely encourage you to keep in your mind in your next speech. Lastly, you ended the story with how you have learned the call, how you have learned overcoming emotions through those stories. However, I would encourage you to challenge yourself with your script. How would you encourage your audience to overcome emotions? So your call to action should shift from you to your audience, so that the audience are empowered and they are thinking about, hey, how should I overcome my own emotions? So that kind of call to action, if you can pass to your audience towards that, I think nothing like that. So you can feel free to challenge your script and modify the call to action accordingly. That's all from my side. Overall, we all love to hear your speech. I love to hear your speech, and kudos to you, Toastmaster Venkatesh. Over to you, General Evaluator Sankhya.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vishal. And let's give a round of applause for the evaluation for evaluator, Toastmaster Vishal, and for the speaker, Toastmaster Venkatesh. I do not have any more point to add to you, Toastmaster Vishal. Okay, so now moving on to our second speaker for the day, Toastmaster Samita. May I invite our evaluator, Toastmaster Sonal, to be on the stage.
Yeah. Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and Toastmaster Samita in particular. Toastmaster Samita, what I liked about your speech was that you used not just body language but also voice modulation. The objective of your speech was to use either voice modulation or body language, but you incorporated both these tools into your speech. I think very well done. It gave us a very elevated, augmented experience for me as an audience. I also liked the way you organized your speech. You started with the questions and audience engagement, then you followed it up with a descriptively describing your experience, and then again leaving us behind with a thought-provoking question. Of course, what stood out for me was the body language and the voice modulation, which you expressed very vehemently. Also, the pause that you used, I think, dramatically enhanced your speech. Now, these are the things that went well, according to me, in your speech. Now, to take this speech of yours a notch higher, I just have one suggestion for you. As an audience, I'm listening to your speech. I am interested in what's in it for me. What is the message, or what is the call to action that you are leaving behind me with? That is something that I found missing in your speech. Of course, it was entertaining. It was very descriptive. It pointed a beautiful picture in our minds. You took us along that journey with you through your words. However, what was it? What do you want us to do after listening to the message? What was the call to action? That's something that I would like you to probably incorporate in your forthcoming speeches. That being said, thank you for such an elevated experience, and I wish you all the best for your forthcoming speeches, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sonal. Now, just to add to one point for Toastmaster Sonal is, in terms of, I mean, since the objective of the speech is about the body language and, the like connection to the audience, you have a very, Toastmaster Samita, the speech that you gave was extremely fabulous. I would say it was very engaging. Just to take it one more point, in terms of a more engagement, I would say if you could have added an artifact or something which you have brought from Egypt, maybe a small memento kind of a thing, and you could have built also a little bit of story. I mean, not the entire story, obviously, just a small part. Then if you have showed it in the screen, that would have also, more engagement with the audience. People will already have more connect. And apart from this, I agree with all the points which Toastmaster Sonal has brought to us. Let's give a round of applause for the evaluator Toastmaster Sonal and for our second speaker Toastmaster Samita. Thank you so much for that. Now, moving on for my second part of the evaluation, of the general evaluation, may I request our tag team to present their report. May I request our timer, Toastmaster Veena, to present the timing report, please.
Sure, Toastmaster Sankhya. Sharing my screen. Hope you can see. So for our first speaker, Toastmaster Venkatesh, he took 6 minutes, 27 seconds. Our second speaker, Toastmaster Samita, took 7 minutes, 3 seconds. And individual evaluations, Toastmaster Sonal, 1 minute, 38 seconds, and Toastmaster Vishal, 3 minutes, 32 seconds. For our table topic speakers, Toastmaster Samita took 2 minutes, 1 second. Lovepreet took 1 minute, 54 seconds. Vibhuti took 1 minute, 9 seconds. Arun took 2 minutes, 17 seconds. Sudhir took 2 minutes, 33 seconds. Thank you. This is from my side.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Veena. Let's give a round of applause for our timer, Toastmaster Veena. And now moving on to our R counter for today's meeting, Toastmaster Pragya, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shankya. And let me share my screen. Just give me a moment. Yeah, I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
so for today's meeting, uh, Venkatesh, so there were a couple of filler words that Venkatesh used in his speech, that is so, but. For Samhita, it was just one filler word, that is Arun, there was the frequency of the was a little more. For Lovepreet, it was so, like, and then there were a couple of other filler words which was then. For Bibhuti, the filler words were and so, and was used a little more frequently. For Sudhir, the and was used, and so. For Samhita, again, the filler word was used, and Vishal, the Vishal used a little frequently in his speech, and and Sonal, it was mostly So with that, I'll hand it over to you, Toastmaster Shakti.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Pragya. Let's give a round of applause for the counter for today's meeting, Toastmaster Pragya. And now moving on to my third musketeer for today's meeting and the grammarian, Toastmaster Saptangshu. Request to be share your report, please.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sankhya. Let me share my screen. Is it visible? Is my screen visible?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So at first I'll start with the good uses of words. So the usage of words or phrases which I found out to be like good. So that was afterlife, mesmerized, taken aback, avid readers and vibrant imaginators, rush out of the house, empowered, thought-provoking. Now I'll come to not so good usage of words or phrases and what could be a better usage or better framing of those particular phrases. So both my grandparents could be said as both of my grandparents. This was just a grammatical mistake. Has affect me can be said as has affected me. Discharge for next 2 days. Discharge within the next 2 days. If she fell unconscious, if she falls unconscious, an office working setup can be said as sedentary lifestyle. So yeah, that's all from my side.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Saptangshu. Let's give a round of applause for the grammarian for today's meeting. And with that, we have come to the now. I'll start with the third part of the general evaluation, which is how the meeting went today. So we started the meeting exactly on time, which is 11 o'clock, and so we started off with Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting, Toastmaster Veena. Toastmaster Veena, I would say you did a splendid job because this is the first time you took up this role. And being a new member, that is something which we really want everyone to come and take up the roles, and you did a fantastic job for that. You spoke about the rules of the meeting, what has to be done, what has not to be done, and you go ahead with the flow, and then you perfectly hand it over to our presiding officer. Let's give a round of applause to our Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Veena, and also for taking the role for the very first time. Kudos to that. And then the baton was passed on to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Vishal. You did a splendid job, I would say, in coming in giving a brief about what is Toastmaster, because we have a few guests with us who joined for the first time. They may not be aware of that. And also we explained that, how the Toastmaster functions. And that was a really good job. Just a small thing over here, you could have added a little bit of flavor in terms of the theme of the meeting as well. That would have been an icing on the cake. With that, let's give a round of applause for Toastmaster Vishal as the presiding officer today's meeting. And then the baton was passed on to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Lalita. Toastmaster Lalita, I would say, and you have improved tremendously. From the time I have seen you and hiding behind the camera, and now you are so flawless. I would say. You always have, a very calm composure, and you have a very nice smile, which actually leads the meeting because being a Toastmaster of the day, you are the face of the meeting, and you did a great job in that. What I really like about being in this role is you started engaging with the audience, and the audience can feel a quick connect, because when as a Toastmaster of the day, when you are connecting, it's not only your content but also your overall like how you smile, how you react to the audience, what type of questions you are asking. Is it tough? Is it very engaging? So I think you did a fantastic job on that. Just as one thing which would have also been a great thing on that, since the topic is about like about the New Year resolution. So in the New Year resolution, if you could have also brought a little bit of interesting story, a short one, that would have been very engaging as well, right? So apart from that, great job done. Let's give a round of applause for our Toastmaster of the day. And then apart from the speeches, which is already done, then it was passed on to our table topic master, Toastmaster Praneeth. Toastmaster Praneeth, great job. I think this is the first time you are taking up the Toastmaster of the day. The TTM, table topic. I would say, you have worked really hard behind the back to know that what are the type of topics you have to bring in. What I really like was, you were very calm and composed again, and you started on time, you ended it on time also. You are very much within the time range. The topic that you gave was really good. People can see to it and relate to it. In terms of the improvement area, one is when you started off with the as a table topic master, you have to explain the role very clearly. Like you said that you can speak for 2 minutes, so the ideal range is 1 to 2 minutes, and you have to ask the timer to share the screen that when that 1 minute should happen. What is the significance of 1 minute? It means that the speaker has to speak for minimum of 1 minute and the maximum of 2 minutes, and then there is a buffer timing. So this entire thing you have to clarify, or you have to speak clearly, because many of the guests, they may not be aware of the rules on that, right? Second is when you are taking the name of the guest, or you are asking that who wants to go ahead with. Now that gives a tricky situation, because what happens is when you keep the floor open, sometimes I can also feel shy about that, whether I should raise my hand or not. So you did a good job on that, in calling up the people also. But beware of that, who are already in the meeting. I see one of the guests has just joined the meeting and you ask his name instantly. So there was, you have to need to give them some time to settle down in the meeting before you ask the audience to come up. Otherwise, it will be a tricky situation for him or her as well. Uh, and yeah, and last but not the least is the topic. The topics were engaging, no doubt, but the title of the topic should be short and crisp. In case, when you are giving a long topic, it's really hard for someone to remember what is the topic, and then you have to come up with on the topic. So it's always good advice to keep it short and crisp, and also you can post it in the chat window as well, right? So that people remember that, okay, this is the topic, and then I have to speak on that. But apart from that, this is the first time you're doing a job. I would say it was very engaging. Kudos to that. I would love to see you again and again into more roles. Let's give a round of applause for our awesome table topic master for today's meeting, Toastmaster Praneeth. And with that, I'm in for the today's general evaluation, and let me hand it back to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Lalita.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sankhya, for the detailed report. A big round of applause for General Evaluator Sankhya. With that, I'll be passing on the stage now to PO Vishal. Over to you, Vishal.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Lalita. Let's give a round of applause for Toastmaster Lalita for igniting the New Year resolutions and letting us know that it's been 1 week and we are not following the resolution. So get back to the track. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Lalita. Now we will move to our next segment, which is something new. And I know I have talked to our, discussed with Lavneet, our guest from other Toastmasters, and they were excited about this Rockstars program as well. So just to iterate, before we get started with our today's agenda, this is something which is coming from our VP Education. So kudos to Toastmaster Sankhya. He understands, the idea of educations and what our members needs. He connects with all our members, collects their feedback, and based on that our XCOM comes up with some plan. And I am thankful to all our members who are here, because today we will starting our Rockstars program. It will continue for 2 months. We will have lots of educational session, not just Toastmasters, but keeping in mind what your organizational needs would be in corporates world as well. So it's a mix of those. And when any speakers are coming, they are also bringing their own experience, their Toastmasters experience, their corporate experience, everything together for our members. So one of a kind initiative, but by speakers then. And kudos to Toastmaster Sankhya for bringing this initiative to light. And today we'll kickstart with our acing virtual meetings, because all our Toastmaster meetings, or mainly our Toastmasters meetings and even the corporate life happens over Zoom as a platform, or any virtual platform. It could be MS Teams, it could be Hangout, it could be Zoom, right? But we have to need to know the nitty-gritties of it. So with that, let's start. Let me share my screen. Um, and and I want this to be very engaging. Let's feel free to ask your questions. I know there will be a question and answer segment towards the end, but feel free to ask your questions, any doubt, and let's make this a constructive and collaborative discussions. Okay. Sankhya or anyone, Saptanshu, could you please confirm if it is visible?
Yeah, screen is visible.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So just to introduce myself, I'm a presiding officer for today's meeting, but at the same time, I'm president of Speakers Den for now. And these are some of the contests which I have won in Toastmasters. And these are the learnings which I'm going to share with you, because these were on during the COVID times, and all our meetings, all our contests were all online, right? So even I had to relearn the online mode of doing certain things. And that's how I was able to earn some of the awards. So again, I want all of you to earn even more awards, even more glories to your home, your family. And for that we have to master whatever the platform we are using. So these are some of the awards I wanted to share, not just to brag about it, but also to let you know, hey, this is the platform where you can earn lots of awards by being and participating in the contests. Now let's look at the agenda for today's meeting. We will demystify some features of Zoom. The idea we are using Zoom as the platform is because lots of our speakers and meetings are over Zoom, and it's a market leader, obviously. So, but the knowledge you will learn from this meeting could be cascaded to other collaboration tools as well. And how you as a person, let's say Saptanshu as a person, will be able to elevate his online presence in a meeting. What are some of the best practices which we have to keep in mind? And we have some activities lined up as well on scenarios, and I want your inputs on how you want to do some of those activities. And lastly, we will have some time for the question and answers, in which I'm feel free to ask any questions and we can collaborate, discuss what's the best way. So the outcome of this meeting, dear friends, would be basically that you would be able to ace the virtual meetings. You will be able to understand the art of the possible with Zoom. I'll be displaying it certain things, and then how to elevate your virtual presence. So this will be our agenda and the outcome which I'm expecting for you. Let me just move this over here. Okay. Hi there, son. So listen to this discussion. I think you're on mute. Can't believe I'm talking to the CEO of Google and he's on mute. Sorry, Kermit. I'll just replay it if you have not noticed what happened. Sundar, I think you're on mute.
can't believe I'm talking to the CEO of Google and he's on mute.
Sorry, Kermit. I was on mute. I've went a few times this year, like everyone else.
Yeah.
It's wonderful to talk to you. I'm a huge fan of you and the Muppets.
So
I'm talking to the CEO of Google and he's on mute.
Sorry, Kermit.
So Kermit the Frog was talking to Google CEO Sundar Pichai, and he was on mute, and he gracefully accepted that he was on mute, and then he took the conversation ahead with the agenda of the meeting. And I'm sure, right? This is something which all of you can relate to, uh, in your day-to-day life, right? So here's the thing, and I want you to let me know if you have ever happened across this thing in your corporate life or in your day life, and feel free to share your story. I want this to be an engaging session, so Saptanshu, Pragya, I look for your inputs whether this is relatable or not. When you are going to have a quick meeting without an agenda, we know what will it result into, right? A 2-hour discussion or a 3-hour discussion over Zoom. I think you are on mute. The most common one happens all the time, even in Zoom, anywhere, wherever we go. So something which we have to practice how to tackle gracefully. And lastly, when you accidentally share the wrong screen, hey, that's the impression we get or the expression that comes out automatically, right? When that happens. So let's take a pause and let's hear from some of our members if they have come across anything like this or something different as well. So let's hear from Pragya.
Yeah, I mean, I was also about to actually pitch in over here. So the third scenario, which is mentioned when you accidentally shared the wrong screen, I cannot tell you the number of times it has happened to me. So by mistake or inadvertently, I would end up sharing my team's chat where I would have all the chats. But I think the best way to tackle this is to share your window and not your screen. So that is something I have tried to incorporate. I mean, learn to incorporate while sharing my screen. But yes, and also there are a couple of things that we need to ensure. I mean, this is just my personal learning that I ensure that we should switch off any other notifications that comes up in between so that the shared screen, especially before the client, remains clean and uninterrupted. So yeah, with that, I'll pass it over to you, Toastmaster Vishal.
Thank you so much, Pragya. I mean, that was something good, and thanks for sharing the best practices about that as well. Let's hear from Akshay or Toastmaster Lalita. If see Akshay or Lalita, if you have come across something similar in your corporate life as well. Or anybody else? Vibhuti, do you want? Oh, love Preet. Yeah, go ahead, love Preet.
Yeah, so both of the scenarios have happened with me. So in office, I have two screens, and I am presenting my work to one of my senior, and I've been talking like 2 to 3 minutes, saying this is happening here, this is happening here, and if you go to that window, you'll click on this, and you'll get to that window. And after 1 minute, they were like, "What are you trying to show? I'm not able to see anything on the screen. There's just one team window, and you are talking on that." And in I attend one like French classes. In that, you have to speak. So it's a window, so they know that I'm speaking. So I start speaking, and I'm going on, and they're like, "Your words are not getting through. Are you speaking?" So both scenarios have happened with me.
Yeah, no, perfect. Thanks, Lovepreet, for being candid about the stories. In fact, I mean, to be honest, right, it has happened to everybody, and having two screens is, I mean, the probability increases increases drastically, right? But yeah, but yep, it happens all the time. It can happen with Google CEO Sundar Pichai, so it could happen with anybody else as well, right? So nothing wrong. It's just that how we are overcoming it, how gracefully we are accepting it and making the meeting interact, that's important. So I'll just move to the next slide, and I want you to think about this session on Zoom, right? Not as just joining the Toastmasters meeting, but think it about that you are organizing a meeting for your office or for your club, right? Then what you have to take in your mind when you are starting the meeting, currently what's happening, you have the meeting ID and you have the password, you are simply putting it and you are able to log in. But what all planning you have to keep in mind when you are organizing a meeting. So here are a few things. Let's say you are the organizers and you have to take care of the logistics of the meeting, which means if the meeting you are setting up is password protected, you have to share the password beforehand with your target audience, which we do in our guest group as Toastmasters speakers dance, right? Second is sharing the meeting agenda or start the meeting with an agenda so that everybody can come prepared what is expected out of that meeting, which I did. I started with the agenda so that you know, hey, this is the objective. This is what I'm going to cover. We are only focusing on Zoom because that's the market leader, not focusing on Google Handout, but knowledge can be transferred across the tools. Third, budget your time. We have started. Now the last end time is 1 p.m. I have to keep it in mind. I don't want to stretch beyond that. The last thing I want is to stretch beyond that. So we have few minutes to settle in, have few minutes to review the next steps, and then 1 to 2 minutes for the final goodbye and smoothly end the meeting. Don't just abruptly end the meeting. And lastly, respect your audience time, because in the end, you, for me, today in today's session, right, are my audience and you are special. So I have to respect your time. I should not oversee the 1 p.m. deadline which is provided to me. So live within the constraint. The constraint is the time, and let's try to stick to the constraint. Now here's the one activity on some of the features. I want all of you to open your mobile phone and write menti.com in your website and put this code 86404286, or you can scan the QR, but I would recommend going the easier way. Just write menti.com and writing the code there. It's a short quiz just to see where we are in terms of various features of Zoom. So let me know once you are there, and I'll quickly switch to that. Okay, so 7 players are ready. I can see there are 7 players already. Okay, perfect.
Vishal, if you could share the code. Oh, sorry, I see it
Yeah,
on the screen. I'm sorry.
yeah, it's there in the top. So we have 8 players ready. 9. Okay, we'll wait for another 2 minutes or maybe 1 minute. Perfect, 10 players. And it's a short quiz just to give you an impression. Um, Even if you don't know the answer, there is no negative point. Please participate. It's basically logically driven quiz, and I'm sure you will be able to answer lots of the question just by reading the question twice if required. But it's a quiz, it's a competition, so make it fast. Okay, so 10 members, 11 members. I'll quickly check how many we have. 13, including me. I guess one more member if he or she is going to join. We'll give another 12. Yeah, so we have the entire pool over here. Let's start the quiz, and you will be able to answer in your mobile phone. So what is the name of the Zoom's virtual background feature that allows users to change their background during a meeting? Is it background switcher? Is it virtual scene? Is it Zoom background? Is it change scene changer? So everyone has voted. Okay, so the correct answer is Zoom background. And the best way to do it is to go to your phone photo on the participants, and then you will be able to see the 3 dots and you will be able to change the Zoom background. But let's move forward with the next question. Okay, but before that, let's see who is leading the pack. Okay, so Lovepreet is leading the pack as of now, fastest. Great, we have few correct answer, but it's also time critical, right? So that's how Lovepreet is leading the pack. Here's your second question for all the 12 attendees we have. Which Zoom features allows the host to poll participants during a meeting? Survey says quick poll, vote now, audience feedback. Everyone has voted perfectly. Let's see the result. Okay. So, okay, still Lovepreet. Vibhuti was the fastest in this round, but Lovepreet is still leading the pack. So close competition there. The third out of 5 questions, which Zoom features allows the host to create separate breakout rooms for participants? Split room, breakout room, room division, breakout spaces. Okay, so Veena was the fastest, I guess, in this round, but let's see. We Lovepreet got it wrong, and Vibhuti is leading the pack.
I'm not a Zoom user. I'm a Teams user.
No worries. So that's why this meeting is there, right? So no worries. Here's the fourth question. Purpose of Q&A feature in Zoom. It's mainly applicable during webinars, but let's hear from our members. Q&A, what it is used for. Okay, everyone has voted. Let's see what the leaderboard has to offer. Vibhuti is leading the pack now. And here's the final question. What is the purpose of closed captioning feature in Zoom? To transcribe spoken words, to add decorative captions, to close the chat window during a meeting, to display messages in a private chat room. Yeah, 7 members got it right. So great. Let's see who won this small contest. Vibhuti got it wrong, so we'll might be seeing some changes. Okay, so PPR out of nowhere. Perfect. Congratulations, Pragya. Let's give a round of applause to Pragya for winning this out of nowhere, all coming and giving us the surprise. But yep, that's what it is. Okay, let's come back to our presentation. So these were some of the questions, right? And what I did essentially, dear members and guests, I tried to leverage some other tools and jumped there and have some audience engagement there, right? Which is something important in your corporate life, in the meetings you are organizing, to have some icebreaker there and make it as interactive as possible. So it's very important that you start a meeting with an icebreaker. It could be anything you want to curate, but leveraging the tools as well. Like Mentimeter I use, there are n number of tools available in the market. So explore it, play with it, and you will be able to, excite your target audience there. Let's move to this poll feature, which was one of the question as well. And I want to share how we can actually create a poll and do it rather than jumping to a different tool, how to do it within Zoom itself. So if we open our Zoom, if we have our account, if we sign up to zoom.com website, there is something called surveys, right, towards the left side. And if you click there, you will have the option to create poll or quiz. If you select poll or quiz, then you will be able to create your questions toward the right side. If you are able to see, it's all the questions, what type of answer is it, single choice or what, and then you have to put the options over here, and whether you want to make it a compulsory, whether you want to make it as a drop down, those kind of features are there. And once you create your questions, then you will be able to see it in your surveys. Hey, this is one question which I have created, a poll which I have created, which during the meeting I can roll out. So this is there. And how to roll out is very simple. In your Zoom, you will see this more button. You just have to click it here. If you are the host, you will be able to see the features like poll and quizzes. You just have to click there and you will see all the polls which you have created before the meeting itself. You just have to click on launch the right poll. The naming of the poll is important. Here, if you see, this was named as acing virtual meeting. The name is important. If I have 10 polls, I will name it according to that. So for example, in Toastmasters, if we have to have a poll like who was the best role takers, who was the best table topic masters, that's how we will leverage two polls. We will create one for the role takers, another for the table topic masters, and we will roll out two poll, first for the first one and second poll which will come over here. We will launch it after that. That's how we will collect the feedback by staying in the Zoom and using the Zoom's features of polling. Is there any question, any doubt, or just give me a thumbs up if everything is going right? It would be great if you can put it in the chat so that I'm able to see, or you can unmute and let me know, and then we'll go to the next slide. I'll not take silence as golden, but yeah, doing great. Thank you, Sankhya. All good. Perfect. So let's jump to the next slide. And here I want you to unmute and think critically what will happen. So if when I'm creating the question, right, what will happen if I toggle this on? So what will happen if I toggle this on and convert it from a poll to quiz? Any thoughts, any ideas which is coming to your mind?
They'll have a choice to choose.
Yeah. So which is here? Like the choice is there, but what extra from poll to quiz? What extra we have to keep in mind?
Right and wrong answers.
Correct. Absolutely, Toastmaster Vibhuti. Then we have to also mark, hey, so this question is not applicable, right? Because this is a different kind of questions. Questions like, what's the capital of India? And you are providing four options. Then you have to also mark Delhi as the correct answer. So that extra step you have to take if you want to the quiz thing through Zoom itself. We don't have to go to Menti, but we can use it through Zoom itself just by toggling it on. So that's what I wanted to convey. Now let me float a quick poll just so I know whether you are able to understand it or not. So the poll will be in your screen. And let me know your answers. 6, 7. Okay, we have 12 members. I want 12 answers to this poll. Okay, 9, 10. Two more, please. Again, last 5 seconds.
I
5,
didn't receive
4.
actually. Maybe
Okay. No worries. So the question was, will you be able to create poll during the meeting? And I've received 10 yes. So it's a majority. I'm ending the poll and I'm sharing the result. So that's how we leverage poll during our online Zoom sessions, and we can share the results with our audience as well. And I hope you are able to see the result of the Zoom poll, which we just conducted. Okay, perfect. So I've stopped the poll sharing and let's go back to where we are. Perfect. So Zoom poll is ended. Now moving ahead, right? What's breakout? There is some feature like breakout room. So let me first ask, how many of you know about this feature, or who don't know about this feature? Please voice your opinion here. Toastmaster Vibhuti, do you know breakout room just by chance?
Yes.
Perfect. So we have few members know, but for others who are not aware, so typically what used to happen before, right, when we were all in person, Zoom was not the mainstream. Uh, let's say you are in a room, right, a big conference room, and each table was given to a team of five, a team of five, a team of five, and they used to brainstorm within their team and they used to come up with a solution. But with Zoom, it's not possible, right? For example, all 13 of us are in this meeting. If I have to divide, let's say Pragya, Lalita, Sankhya as one team to discuss on one question, it won't be possible. They won't have a separate room to discuss their problem statements. And that's why this breakout room is really important. So in corporate world, how we use it, we have some case studies, some problem statements, we have 20 members in the room. We just divide them into 3 or 4 breakout room and give them their respective problem statement. They brainstorm on that and then they come up with the solution in the main room. And in the main room, we discuss only the solutions. So that's one way of using the breakout room feature. Now, how to launch the breakout feature in Zoom is something which we should know. So in the more, if you see my screen, if we go to our more section, we'll see the breakout rooms just below the polls. And then you have to simply create, the number of breakout rooms depending on the people. So I have selected 3 for now. And then you just have to create, you have to just open all the rooms and 3 rooms will be created in which you will be assigning members either automatically or manually. For who, for our members who have not been into the contests, many of our contests use breakout room so that only one speaker is speaking at the same time and others are not listening to them, so they are in a different or a separate breakout rooms. Lastly, there are some settings we have to keep in mind, like you have to allow participants to return to the main session, the countdown timer, all those things which we'll try to experience if the time permits. But lastly, you will monitor as host, hey, how many people are in which all rooms, and then you have the feature to close all the rooms and bring everybody in the main meeting. So we will experience this um, going forward. But any doubt as such, I think the breakout room will have some doubt, but let me know if everything is going on correctly in your chat, or you can just unmute and let me know. I look. Go ahead, Pragya.
Hi, Vishal. So I just wanted to ask that we need to be organizer of the meeting in order to have the breakout room feature, or is it available to all participants?
Okay, so you have to be host access, right? At least you have to be a host to organize this breakout room.
Okay, got it.
So whoever is organizing, setting up the meeting, if you are not the organizer, you are not using the sign in sign up feature. Currently, for example, I am the host. I can make you the host, and then you will get the feature to roll out a breakout room.
Okay, got it. Thank you, Vishal.
Yep, welcome. Moving ahead, some of the admin settings, there are ample of settings available. I don't want you to get lost and get overwhelmed, but these are some of the settings we have to keep in mind when we are organizing any meeting. For example, allow participants to rename themselves. Now this is important. If this is off, then we could not rename ourselves as PO Vishal or TMOD Lalita, right? Or guest Vibhuti. That won't be possible. So the reason we are able to edit our name is because this feature is toggled on. Secondly, breakout room meetings. This feature had to be on, then only even the hosts is able to do it. So if you are planning to leverage breakout room in your corporate experience, even in Toastmasters, let's say you are TMOD and you want to leverage breakout room for some activity you are planning, you have to inform the organizer, let's say in this case, the sergeant at arms, that, hey, I want to use breakout room. Please enable the breakout room for the meeting and give me the access as a host so that I can run the breakout meeting. So these are the checks you have to plan ahead such that your meeting can go smoothly as per your plan. Something like virtual background, which we all use. We have our timer. She changes her timing cards, green, yellow, red. All those are possible because this virtual background is toggled on. Recently, Zoom also is allowing use of videos as virtual backgrounds, and you can see that tick mark there. So this is checked, which means we are allowing in this meeting to use videos as your virtual background as well, but we can switch it off based on the requirement. So these are some of the settings, and there are lots of settings. If you see the second navigation bar, security settings, scheduled meeting setting, basic meeting features, advanced, other notifications, etc. So n number of meetings, but we have to keep in mind the basic ones when we are setting up a fresh meeting. So here's a quick activity which I have planned, and I'll distribute all of you into separate breakout rooms. And I want you to discuss this particular problem statement, very specific to any online meeting. We have, the silent participant, as we call it. There is one member or two member who are always silent. So what strategies can you employ to make meetings more inclusive? How will you do it? And few members will be assigned to this breakout room. They will be discussing this problem statement, and I want at the end of the 4 minutes period that we discuss about the solutions of of this particular scenario, what you could do as a team leader to make the meeting inclusive. Secondly, the problem statement is engagement techniques. Let's brainstorm, and I want the team who will be assigned the second breakout room to brainstorm and come up with some techniques, uh, your ideas, your creativeness to make participants engaged during a virtual meeting. Lastly, share screen slip up. Like I know Pragya mentioned it in her corporate life as well. So during a presentation, you as a host accidentally shares the wrong screen, displaying some personal content or some other content. How would you handle this situation? So these are the three situations can come and often comes in our day-to-day life. I'll divide you into three breakout rooms, and and I want in next 5 minutes, let's come up with the solutions to these three problem statements. Make sense? Okay. So let me just enable the breakout room, and I'll divide all of you into three rooms. So I'll create, we have 12 members. I'll create three breakout rooms, and I'm just creating it. And okay, so breakout room will have Pragya, Veena, Samita, and Venkatesh. Breakout room will have Arun, Sankhya, Saptanshu, Lovepreet. Breakout room 3 will have Akshay, Vibhuti, Praneet. So I've opened all the rooms, and let me know if, yep, I can see some movement there. People are going. Yep. Pragya, Lovepreet, Praneet. Praneet is the last one here. Please. Yep. Perfect. Hey, welcome back, Sankhya, Arun, Sudhir, Veena, Lovepreet. We are waiting for one room is still debating. That's room three. So let's wait and give some time for them. But how was the overall experience, Sankhya, in your opinion? How the breakout room features go for your team?
I think it is for us. It is very engaging because now that we had only 4 5 people in that meeting room, and everyone can speak with each other. Everybody knows their opinions. So we had a good brainstorming session, I would say, and it
Perfect.
was very much engaging because that's also what our topic was about. Various techniques to keep participants engaged in virtual meeting.
Correct. Absolutely. Let's hear from somebody from room one. Veena, you want to share your experience, how the entire thing went for your team?
Oh, it was really nice, Toastmaster Vishal. We came up with a few points for the silent participant. And when you let me know, I'll read out our points and what we came up with, the strategies.
Okay, so
Can I?
let's start. Yeah, let's start with team one, and feel free to invite your team members as well.
Sure.
But yeah, let's go ahead, Toastmaster Veena.
Yeah, so my team members in the breakout room, silent participant was Toastmaster Samita, uh, Venkatesh, and Pragya.
Pragya, yep.
Yeah. So we came up with firstly come up with interesting topics, interesting easy topics, so everybody can feel included and talk about it. Uh, of course, secondly, call them to speak up, encourage them, call their names.
Yep.
Take up roles in Toastmasters. Thirdly, they can be asked like how I was asked today to take up roles like timer or SAA. Uh, and call the Toastmaster to speak. Call anybody who is an older member to speak before the guests speak, so that they feel comfortable enough to warm up before they
Yep.
speak. And encouraging words. The host or Toastmasters here can encourage them to talk more and say a few kind words so that they open up.
Yep.
Uh, ask informal light questions as icebreakers, maybe how their travel was or what they did in their day, something like that, to talk about something random and informal and a little bit away from the theme. Uh, Another strategy, which of course works a lot, is to post answers and ask them to upload their answers in the chat window so that they
Yep.
also participate.
Perfect.
And another one was encourage them to join Toastmasters to speak well and become members. And lastly, smile and encouraging words by the host and other Toastmasters, which goes a long way. So this is what we came up with.
Yep. Absolutely. So Veena is all set to be our VP membership as well. See, after listening her ideas. But no, I think it was good, and let's give a round of applause for our members in room one for coming up with so many options for overcoming the silent participant problem. Let's hear quickly from room number two. Lovepreet, do you want to let us know, or feel free if any other members wants to let us know the engagement techniques they discussed?
I think anybody from our room can speak because there was no one person who was leading, so we were discussing among ourselves.
That's
So
fine. Yeah, go ahead,
and
Lovepreet, if you want to add,
yeah,
and
so in
others
our
can chime
room,
in. Yeah.
Sankhya was there, so Subhanshu, Sudhir, and I. So we five were there. So what we discussed mainly was sometimes the topic becomes that expert requirement of the topic discussion becomes that expert that some people feel detached. So we should keep it uh, by knowing the audience, like
Yep.
what is the level of our audience. If I start discussing AI models here and people will feel why he is discussing this topic, I'm not interested. So we should keep in mind where we are discussing and what we are discussing.
Yep.
And next, Sankhya can go on.
Yeah, the next point, which we discussed is especially when it happens during trainings or meetings. Now, if I quickly call out anybody's name, for example, the way we are speaking, so Vibhuti spoke nicely, and so that does Amita. So the moment take out somebody's name while the meeting is going on, that will have a quick effect So people will be very much alert that, okay, maybe my name can call out, or if I hear my name, I'll be more alert as well.
Yeah.
So that is one way of doing that.
Absolutely. And that reminded, by the way, Sankhya, of our school days when our teacher used to say, "Hey, start reading," and we used to forget where the our partner was reading, right? And we used to say, "Oh my God, I mean, where were you?" At least tell the last word so that we can start after searching. So, but yeah, let's give a round of applause for room number two as well for coming up with these engagement techniques. Let's hear from the most intense discussion, I think, was with share screen slip up. They ended the breakout room. They were the last to end the breakout room, but let's hear from them. I know Akshay was there. Akshay, do you want to share what you learned or what the team discussed?
Sure, Toastmaster Vishal. Yeah, so screen sharing, like wrong screen sharing, everyone, like anyone can do, and mistake happen from anyone. That we are all are agree with that, right? But if we do any mistake or by mistakenly, if you share the wrong screen, we should identify that and accept the mistake that we done. That is first way to acknowledge that sharing the incorrect screen. Secondly, I can say that I will be calm in that situation to handle this particular point, because we were in the meeting, very critical meeting, or I can say the with higher management or with the audience, which first time we are presenting. So we should not be uh, uh, dragged or the out of the track, right? So handle the situation very calm way, accept it, and reshare the correct one. Tell audience that yes, it was incorrectly shared the screen, and apologies for that. So we apologize for this, and share the correct one. Have a small recap the what we had discussed before we share this screen. So we make sure that everyone should be on same page, right? To recall the what we had done. So quick recap should be there, and then uh, uh, the I would say that whatever did I mistake, right? So I will learn from that mistake. I'll make sure next time I will share the correct screen. Uh, and of course, we continue as a professional way our discussion, instead of the harming, or I can say having the apology for us say that, right? So professionally way we can continue our discussion. There is also one of the part we had discussed. If this recording has recorded, the meeting is recorded, right? So in future we should go back and correct that if possible, because if that recording we are sharing with um, the person who's really keen about to know, or most of people refer that. So it should not be unrelevant, the confidential information in case if we are shared with the audience. So we should go back and edit the video. Yeah,
Correct.
that's all. I'm Praneeth, and Vibhuti can add if I'm mistaken.
Oh, perfect. I mean, let's
Yeah.
give a round of applause to room number three. What I mean, they have really went deep in the problem, and the recording thing was something amazing. Kudos to the entire room number three members. Completely agree, and we have find the solutions to all these questions. So kudos to all of you. I think there was somebody who was trying to speak, and I cut it off. You want to add something? Is there anybody?
Yeah, so I was just saying ki,
Yeah,
we sh- in the end we should ask the participants to refrain from using this information they saw and
correct,
share it,
correct. Yeah,
and just be more aware of what they are sharing.
agreed. Completely. Thanks, Praneeth. I mean, that was one of the key messages. So thank you so much for that.
Toastmaster Vishal, I wanted to ask a question. Now,
Go ahead, Samita.
yeah, since I'm not from the corporate field, I would like
Mhm.
to know, this is for my knowledge.
Yeah.
Suppose you have made such a slip. Can
Mhm.
you use humor to lighten the situation and change your screen quickly? Can humor be incorporated?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a very good technique, Samita, that you know you can add the humor element to it. But as mentioned by the room three audience as well, if it is something confidential, you have displayed some other client name or something else, then it's better, to ask them not to leverage this anywhere. And even from the recordings before sharing, we must ensure that those confidential information are not going out. But just to deal with the situation during that time, it's up to individual how they want to do it. You can be apologetic, you can add a humor and fine tune it. So it's up to you. It's on your strength how you want to handle it. But humor is obviously one of the best way to deal with it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So
So,
moving,
I
yeah,
have one question.
go
I'm
ahead,
sorry.
Akshay. No, please
So
go ahead.
yeah, so I see for other platform like we have Zoom, right? So we can also give access to co-host who can also do this breakout session
Yep.
for Zoom, because I'm not familiar with the Zoom, but just wanted to confirm.
Yeah. So typically how it happens, even in contest, right? Let's say we always need 3-4 members to do all the logistics and the admin things. So sergeant at arms, they can come prepare to help the moderator, and they will help you, assign, assign people to breakouts, bring them back. And as I was one of the person organizing it, I can hop into each of the breakout rooms and see how the discussion is going on. So those are ways in which you can take help from somebody else. They can be co-host and they can help monitor the things. So there are different ways of dealing with it.
Oh, got it, got it. So co-host also
Can do it.
do breakout sessions. Thank
Absolutely. Yep. Okay. So moving ahead, I think we are almost on time. So I'll just tell about few accessories which we should have in our, in our room where we are doing with these presentations. High quality camera is recommended. Lighting should be appropriate so that your face is visible. For mobile users, we have something called mobile hands, mobile stands which we can purchase so that you can be hands free. You don't have to keep your mobile in front of you holding with your hand, right? You can be hands free and you can still go with the presentation. In fact, for laptop users, I highly recommend using a laptop stand just to uplift your, your laptop so that the camera can be at your eye level. A good quality headphone is recommended. For example, I remembered when Venkatesh was speaking, right? There was noise coming from a train. So those can be avoided because some of these headphones are also noise reducer. They reduce the noise and that saves the audience from background noises. So that's why headphones are also important. And lastly, smile. Now, how to smile, or what I'm referring here is this particular book, Humor Seriously. And this also repeats what Samita asked. This is a very interesting book which I recently read. It says there are 4 types of humor. We have to understand our own type, whether we are a stand-up kind of a person, a sweetheart, magnet, or sniper. Wherein stand-up means who is open, who is extrovert. Sweetheart means they come with their jokes prepared. Magnet is like they don't want to hurt anybody's sentiments and politely asks their the have the humor there. And lastly, the sniper, who are comfortable even with the sarcastic tones as well, but don't not to hurt others, but still that's their style of doing it. So these kind of things are important in our corporate life to add humors. And even when we are sharing a joke and other person is laughing, right, that's also as a sound of affection, and it creates an atmosphere which is good. So even if you are not cracking a joke, you are laughing on somebody's joke, that's perfect. I mean, you will be considered like a friendly or amiable person. Now, there are other things like use callbacks in the meeting, refer to the moment of a shared experience with your audience. Like, hey, we moved to the we went to CCD during that time. It was good. Start with those callbacks. It it creates a value in the meeting. And lastly, uneasy times put additional pressure on people. Those leaders who learn to master humor attract people. We in Toastmaster believe in leadership, building leaders, and this is very important. If you are chasing a deadline, which happened to me last week, we were chasing a deadline at 10:30 p.m. We were on a call, and then the US, my senior manager from US, he cracked a joke when we were hard pressed, and it lightens the mood. it, even if there was only 30 minutes remaining, it was feeling like, hey, we have 1 hour. So those leaders who learn to master humor attract people. So this is a must read book, I would say, and I encourage all of you to read this book as a Toastmasters. Obviously, this is a great book to get your hands on. Lastly, we can always use the frugal innovations and have the stacks of books just to keep your camera at an eye level. And there are other elements of frugal innovations which we obviously use, right? So those are there. Why camera at eye level is key? Because if you set your camera like this with a focus on your AC, it doesn't solve the purpose, but it should be at an eye level with your entire face should be in the camera. So this is recommended against not too low, but at eye level. So something to keep in mind. Lastly, I want to let you know the Zoom etiquette, the 4 Ps, like prepare before the meeting, like be on time, test the polls, which I did, test the breakout settings, which I did, the Zoom settings, whether I will be able to enable breakout and all or not. Those settings we have to come prepared before the meeting starts. Participate during the meeting, don't multitask, right? And contribute to the meeting, which all of you did. That made the meeting successful. And as a host, I tried to make the meeting inclusive by having those activities, the quizzes, everything, which you can take up in your next roles as well. Presentation, wear appropriate clothes and set camera at eye level. And lastly, be polite, be respectful, actively listen to your members, be considerate of their opinions, and yeah, be polite. And it's not in meeting, during meeting, or before meeting, it's all the time. So that's all. I think that's all from my side. I'll open the forum for if there is any other questions, or I would say let's have a quick selfie and then we can address any questions if you have. So I'm stopping my shared screen. Let's hear from our audience, but before that, let's have a group pic together. I want you all to bring emoticons. Sankhya, will you be helping us with the screenshot today?
Yeah, sure. Sudhir and Pragya, is it possible to just switch on the video for a few seconds? Okay. Well, okay, great.
Yes.
Yay, we can see Sudhir and
Yep.
finally Pragya as well.
Yeah. So 3 seconds
Okay.
for all the emoticons, right,
Yeah,
Sankhya?
yes, absolutely. So we'll just put the laugh emoji. Yeah,
Perfect.
fantastic. Okay, with the count of three,
Three,
two,
two, one.
one. Yay, great. Yes.
Thank you so much, Sankhya. Let's hear from our members, audience, how you like the entire meeting, this Zoom session, any feedback, any questions you want to ask. Let's address those before we wind up the meeting.
Vishal, Toastmaster Vishal, I have one question.
Yeah, please,
You
Amita.
showed us a ring light. Okay. Now I wear specs. So the moment I keep my
Okay.
ring light, it reflects on my specs. So give
Correct.
me a solution. I think so. We have 3, 4, 5 people here. We all have the same problem.
Can I answer that? If you
Yeah,
don't
Yes.
go
mind.
ahead, Sankhya.
Yeah, I mean, talking on from the very practical aspect, because I am also wearing specs and I faced a lot because I create videos, for my stories and sometimes, for the various videos. So what I do was like I use two ring lights actually. One, I put it in some at an angle. The angle actually matters a lot. Like if you put it in your front, 100% it will always have a reflection. So what you need to do is, one I put, below me, so the reflection will come here, but there will be no reflection in the eye. And the another one I keep it on the side, provided I have a like a light on the one side. So for example, you already have a light source from one side, and the other side you are seeing it as a dark. So put the ring light on the other side, but in a way that it does not your camera and your spectacle should not reflect that. So that, yeah.
Basically, 2 angles I should find out, and 2 places where it doesn't.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Sankhya, for saving
Thank
me,
you so much.
by the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
So that's called enlightenment with the light.
I always put it in the front, and I couldn't figure it out how to do. Thank you so much for giving me that advice. Yeah. And Toastmaster Vishal, it was a lovely session. It was a lovely session. We enjoyed, especially the activities, we enjoyed a lot.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Samita. Let's hear from our guests. Sudhir, opinion.
Yeah. Hello.
You can be on your camera as well, Sudhir. It was perfectly fine.
And you look handsome as well, Sudhir. So
Thank you. Actually, it was a nice session, and this was my first experience with Toastmasters. I was quite apprehended, means what it is all about, and just wanted to improve my communication skills. Though means I found a lot of interesting people, and they encouraged me. So I loved the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sudhir. We look forward to seeing you more in our meetings. So yeah,
Yes.
let's keep the ball rolling. Let's hear from Vibhuti. Vibhuti, what was your experience?
As always, I like the session, and since we have started today with this
Rockstar
new
program.
initiative, Rockstar program, the activities are really engaging, and I'm sure it'll have really practical outcomes.
Absolutely, yeah. And even I'm excited for the lineup going ahead. If you have seen that posters, we have a lineup and experienced speakers like Toastmaster Samita, Sonal. They will be sharing their experience in their respective subject. So there's a lot to learn, not only for me, but all of us. There's lots of learn, and I'm looking forward to those sessions. Vibhuti, we look forward to you joining those sessions and learning from those as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we are almost over time.
And just sorry, Michelle,
Go ahead,
just wanted
Sankhya.
to add one more thing in terms of the Zoom, because this is the platform.
Mhm.
So what I have found out, especially in those circumstances, if you are in a contest or if you are going to give a speech where you need to stand, right? And because standing will give a lot of flexibility to your movement of the body and this thing. So what I do is, in case I do not have a proper place, for example, I have a table with me, but if I stand and if I keep the laptop on the table, it will be like, I have to look in this way. So, it is not a proper way of doing it. Now, how do I make sure that the laptop carries a stand? Because I do not have a laptop stand, like the way Vishal showed. So what I do is, I put certain things. For example, sometimes I put a chair maybe on the top, or a tool, or sometimes I use pillows, like 3 4 pillows, one after the other, uh, you know provided I have a backup support in the back so that the laptop do not fall. Or sometimes I use, so it can be anything. And even if you are using a mobile phone, for example, where you have to keep the mobile, so you can keep it in such a place where it is towards your height, and if you do not find the height, again use some kind of a support for that. But at the end of the day, because nobody will check that what's the challenges that you are facing, but everybody will see you only as a person, that okay, your face is not not appropriate, in terms of the angles. So you are the owner of so you have to ensure that you face properly on that. And so that's one. And secondly, I found that in the Rockstar program, since we had an initiative, so it's not only taking the program but practicing it a lot. So whether you are a guest or whether you are a member, do practice, because members will have an extra leverage in terms of the, like, we are taking a lot of roles, a lot of speeches, and we are also aligning with every members that everyone should be every week, whenever they're available, that they should be taking up these roles and the speaking slots, so that they come to the stage delivered. Because the more practice we do, the more it will be beneficial for each one of us. So that's the plan for all of us, because we want everyone to grow us together as well, right? So that's it.
Perfect. Let's hear one last feedback from Lovepreet. I know Lovepreet joining from some other Toastmasters club. Lovepreet, can you let us just remind me of the name of your Toastmasters club and what was your experience over here?
Yeah, so hello everyone, I'm Lovepreet. I'm from Toast and Tail Toastmasters Club, which is in ECT. We are a corporate club, which is in Bosch, ECT. And we have also started one more club. There is one more club called Boshra Counters, and we just started one new club last December last week, which is called Bosh Adugadi. So I'm also sponsoring there as a member from our club. So that's one of the thing I'm doing. And through this program, one thing which comes is I get to see new people. Like I like Samita's speech. So like her excitement of going to the tomb or like using the stage. Like I have not given like many speeches. I just gave my icebreaker and I thought I'm not good enough in speaking. So I took up all the roles, whichever was possible, other than journal evaluator. I took up all the role in last 6 months. Now I'm ready to give speech. So I'll be giving my speech going ahead. I might give my speech, one of my speech in this club. So I'm looking forward to clubs where I can give my speeches. So I've been to 3 to 4 clubs and I like meeting with new people. That's how I get to know that there's a scope of growth.
Perfect. And you are welcome, Toastmaster Lovepreet, to and it's a pleasure to host you if you are planning to give your speech here. So yeah, thanks for sharing your experience with us today.
Please add me to
Uh,
your guest group as well.
yeah, okay. Point taken. Sure. I think that's it. Arun, do you want to share your experience? We have not heard more from you.
Yeah, I think like it's a third or fourth session. Like I mean, like after I joined here, right? And then almost all the sessions are really great, and then different variety of kind of different activities are there. Like people are coming and then giving. And even last week we had I mean like session from different people, right? Like all these things are really good, and I'm finding like people are also very encouraging and then very easy going and then giving suggestion. And when I can see that difference in that one, and I'm just like maybe the third I told, right? Third or fourth sessions I'm in now. So it's really great, and then good environment. I also planning to join, but I was talking to Sankhya, but I think like due to some reason I couldn't actually make it. Maybe I'll discuss that soon. So I mean, like overall, it's a great experience, and then a lot of value adds, and then I mean, I would love to actually continue, and then again, and then I mean, like grow with all of you. Yeah, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Arun. I think we have got a lots of positive feedback. Kudos to all the members, all the role takers. It was your effort that puts it takes effort to put such a show. So kudos to all of you. Now I would like to end the meeting and let's close the recording for sure with a bang of this hand. And that's it from my side. We